And that is it for the week.
Planning to get some painting done. I just have to finish the ceiling trim for up in the upstairs bathroom. Here's the trim that is up so far, and I am loving it. It's called Frost, and it's by Bear Paint at Lowe's. Do you want to talk about my hair since I can't stop playing with it? Can I just say that anybody who has short hair, I admire you, because short hair, for me, it's so much more work than long hair. Part of that is because I had trained my hair to only wash it a couple times a week. And so when I sleep on my hair, it's just like everywhere. And I already have these like ridiculous cowlicks from baby hairs growing in. So I just needed a break because I try to do it as natural as my curly is natural and just enhance it with my curling iron. But it just hasn't been cooperating, and I have this like wave. Like my hair wants to be in the 1970s and just like feather back, early 80s. And I'm trying to like, I'm just saying, I'm having hair crises, so I had to straighten it just to give myself a break. It is a beautiful day.
It's our little neighbor visitor. We call her Callie, but I don't know what her name really is. It's a perfect day to paint. I prefer to paint on a sunny day, not a rainy day, because I feel like the paint just works that much better.
This is the goal. Painting these two pieces. This is all painted, so shouldn't be too hard. I got myself more of the semi-gloss. Nope, that's not the semi-gloss. What? Yeah, semi-gloss, HGTV. Why does it say Sherwin-Williams? I didn't ask for Sherwin-Williams. I just realized it. I asked for Bear. I'm telling you. I even had a picture of the can that I wanted. That lady, I could tell she was not listening to me. Huh. All right, well, we're using it. I don't usually buy Sherwin-Williams at Lowe's. I buy Bear at Lowe's and Sherwin-Williams at Sherwin-Williams. Sherwin-Williams said they couldn't do a quart of that because it was too close to pure white. So I go to Lowe's. They have no problem doing it at all, which is weird, but maybe it's because it's their color. I don't know. But anyway, some of you had said that semi-gloss is better in the bathroom because it's easier to wipe than satin or eggshell, which is true. And I'm not painting a wall anyway, I'm just painting trim. And that moisture can absorb into the satin or the eggshell. And I don't really want to get into sealing any of it, so I am using semi-gloss. It's so funny because I just bought the quart, but I feel like, am I going to end up just going back and getting more? I don't know, as I do more of the house. Something else, you guys can tell me all, you can weigh in on this. If you were buying a house and the inside of the door was painted white, the outside of the door in the hallway was stained, would you be like, that's weird? Tell me. I'm trying to decide if I care or not. Because if I were to paint the outside of the door, it's going to lead to me painting every piece of trim and every door and every window casing, not casing, but trim, in the whole house. And I don't know if I'm ready to take on a project like that. So let me know what you think. Got my heater on. I'm trying to make myself as comfortable as possible. I also took like 6 paint stirrers. Do I have my glasses over there? 6 paint stirrers, because if it's free, it's me. I do reuse them, but even easier. Wow. I'm telling you, opening this with a screwdriver. This particular screwdriver is really nice. Okay. Last time I used this in the kitchen, I didn't even stir it. It just didn't need to be stirred, but now I'm wondering, did she even mix it, or did she just give me pure white? So I guess I'll see if it matches what we've already done. Let's just hope. Oh, I'm going to use a brush. I think I can use this wider one. This is 1.5 inches. This was the inch one I was using up in the kitchen the other day. I'm all over the place, and I hope this is working for you, that I didn't finish the kitchen yet. But I know my husband's going to want to work on this trim tomorrow because today's Friday. It's actually the same day you're going to see this, so Lord willing, I'll be so fast at the edits. Yeah, so I need to wipe this down because it had sawdust on it, and then we'll get started painting. An alarm because I don't want to be doing this too long, because I do want to get a video up for you. That's kind of the balance of daily videos. I try to do some that feel vlog. I guess they all kind of feel vloggy, but I do some that are more vloggy, and I want to do some that are completely a subject. This has been cut. I guess my husband decided it was bigger than it needed to be. So I'm just making sure there's no dust or sawdust on here. As I said last time, we bought the pre-primed, and I will never do it again if I can remember, because it's too shiny. So it's annoying to paint because I felt like I needed to do a primer on top of it. One of you said it could be that it's an oil base, so you're probably right. You all know way more than I do, which is a beautiful thing. All right, so what I love about this project is I can go straight from the can. Man. Actually, I probably shouldn't put it here, though. That's not a smart idea. I want something higher, because I don't want to be bending all the time. Let's see. I got a chair over here. I watched Willowberry to get motivated. Her husband was painting a wall. And so that I was watching him a little bit to get myself motivated. I'm not listening to a video today while I work because I'd rather chat a little bit. All right. So let me tell you a story about why I don't ever like to paint on a rainy day, even though it was actually raining when I did the kitchen the other day, which I didn't even notice. I was so like in the zone that later in the day I said to my daughter Crecia, "It's raining," and she was like, "Yes, it's been raining all day, Mom." And I thought, oh, okay, well, maybe I'll use my little one too for that part, the edging. I think I will. So then I was like, oh, okay, I didn't even notice. But, okay, so one time when my husband, and this is actually what prompted the peel and stick wallpaper. So my husband and I were painting our bathroom downstairs, our half bath, where I have the washer and dryer. And it was a rainy, like humid rain day. And I was painting with Behr paint, which is a very thick one coat paint. I thought I heard my camera go off. And, honestly, if your paint tape catches Behr paint, it can come off in sheets. It's like when you were a kid and you were peeling glue off your hands. So I turn around to look at something, and I turn back, and the whole wall of paint is sliding down the wall. And so we were quickly trying to paint, but it was partly dry, and it was such a mess. And it always looked wrinkled, but it was behind the washer and dryer mostly, so it really didn't show. So then, when I got the idea for the peel and stick wallpaper, which I actually got the idea from YouTube, of course, it was from Love Meg. She was using it. And so that was years later. I mean, we had that up for years. So when we did the peel and stick wallpaper, we just kind of sanded the wrinkles. I mean, they were big wrinkles, like big hoops. So we just kind of sanded that down and then covered it with the peel and stick wallpaper, which was great. Just we made sure our wallpaper had a pattern so you couldn't really see all of the flaws. By the way, what you're hearing in the background is my furnace, because my furnace loves to run when I'm trying to talk. So anyways, that is why now I try to never paint when it's raining, because that humidity in the air is not good for paint drying. This always feels like a 2-minute job, and then I realize, oh, someone's going to be able to see the little edge here, so I got to paint that too. Good thing I like painting. So are you doing any projects in your home? Let me just update you on my family. So my daughter Ava is a senior she's a junior in high school. A senior, I'm rushing her. She's a senior in high school oh my word, I can't say it. She's a junior in high school. She's in drama. So this weekend they have regional competition. So today she left the house at 6:45 in the morning, and she's going to return at about midnight. Well, we'll be picking her up probably about midnight, which Yvonne has actually offered to pick her up because she's a night owl anyway, so I might go ahead and let her. But she didn't mention that they weren't feeding them supper, so once Yvonne does some schoolwork, her and I are going to run to Subway, grab Ava a sandwich, and drop it at the school before they leave at 1, so that she'll have her supper. Isn't that mom life? And then tonight, my reward for all this work is in the state of Maine, we have Maine Restaurant Week. The funny thing about Maine Restaurant Week is it lasts 12 days. Like, what even? Why is it lasting 12 days if it's called Restaurant Week? I don't know. But me and 3 girlfriends, we have been going to Maine Restaurant Week together for years. Ooh, thank you. The heater just shut off. We've been doing Maine Restaurant Week for years. So what it is you can even look it up online if you're curious. Just type in Maine Restaurant Week into Google. But a bunch of restaurants, and I mean a lot of restaurants, they'll prepare menu options with a flat fee. So you get an appetizer, a main dish. You usually have 3, well, most restaurants, you have like 3 appetizers to choose from, 3 main meals to choose from, and 3 desserts. So you choose your appetizer, your main meal, and your dessert, and you pay a flat fee. So, you know, you could choose whatever price range you have. You can find restaurants, you know, typically in that particular price range. It probably wouldn't go below $25 per plate, but it allows people to go to maybe a fancier, more expensive restaurant. It's free advertising for them. So it just allows us to go places we wouldn't normally go to. Tonight we're going to go to one that is on the coast, you know, the absolute coast. I'm super excited. It's just a tradition. And I didn't used to then go with my husband, but the last couple years, maybe this would be my husband and I's 3rd year going, we've also been doing Restaurant Week, so then I get to go twice. And I'll let him pick. You know, with my girlfriends, they always say, you know, everybody looks at the different restaurants and we choose, and we try not to choose the same one that we've already been to. We go to a different one every year. But I never do the choosing. The meals I've had are always good. But sometimes when I'm looking at fancier food and the sauces, I'm like, I would never like that. So I don't choose. I let them choose for that reason. I have to say, this really isn't going on all that much better than the other one. And I can see that there were some little dirt pieces I left behind. Tray annoying. So tonight, we're all meeting at the restaurant at 4:30, which is great because then it's nice and early. And usually you have to make reservations. That way they know how many Restaurant Week people they have. And we have just had the best time doing that. This is going to need 2 coats, I can see. And honestly, the lady was like, you realize going with the less expensive one, you're going to have to do 2 coats. She didn't even know what I was painting, so I was like, yeah, I know. And I'm thinking in my head, yeah, but it's already primed. Yeah, it's primed, but it's primed with stuff that doesn't want to hold paint. Because that makes sense. Let's see. My daughter, Crecia, just got a new job at kind of like this convenience store, gas station type place, but it's a newer one. So her first official day is today, which the hard part is going to be, we have one teen mobile, but she'll be saving for cars. But until she has her car, it's going to be a little tricky to get everybody where they need to be. We're 2 cars and 6 of us. Yvonne has a car, but her car, I think it needs new shocks, but the car itself kind of collapsed on the wheel, on the tire, so I don't know. That could be the end of her car. Not sure. What else could I tell you? Are you doing any home improvement? Do you find it strange that I'm not sticking with the kitchen, finishing the kitchen, and then moving to this? Well, I'm really doing it so that my husband can put this up tomorrow. And daily, you know, if I wasn't posting daily, then I could show you the whole kitchen all at once because I would wait until that video was done. But I'm hoping this is better because it shows you my real life, which isn't getting to complete one thing and go to the next, which honestly works better for who I am as a person. I do get a little bored, or I don't know. Sometimes I need some space from the space to think it through. I'm definitely going to be laying down some liners in my cabinets. I have liners, but I want more. I don't know if I just ran out of money and that's why I didn't do them all, or if I didn't think they were necessary. But sometimes, oh, I know what I was going to tell you. Sometimes my dishes are wet coming out of the dishwasher and I don't always want to dry them. Or if someone else might be doing the dishes and they don't dry them as well. I'm definitely going to wipe this down better so that I can make sure on this one there's no sawdust left. Okay, so if you ever replace cabinetry, so I replaced cabinetry and I went to Lowe's to find the cabinets. I did it in 2020 because what else was there to do but redo your kitchen? Super hard to find people or to wait. We had to wait quite a bit because everybody was redoing their houses because they were actually home to see them and be like, oh, this needs to be redone. Anyway, thankfully, I kept all of the paperwork for it. Always keep your paperwork. So they gave me this little bottle of touch-up paint, and I lost it. Well, the lacquer, and it is a lacquer that is on the cabinets, is so thin, you can practically breathe on it, and paint's coming off, or lacquer's coming off, right? So I need to touch up. So you know I'm doing all the touch-ups in my spring clean, or at least I'm trying to at least leave it better than it was before. So I went to Lowe's, and first they said, well, we don't keep it in the system. Because you know, you go to Best Buy and they know what you bought 10 years ago. So I thought Lowe's would be the same way. So they're like, nope, we don't keep a record of it after a certain time. So I was like, okay. Went home, got my paperwork, went back in. Got somebody who doesn't normally work in the area. So he made it sound like he could get me some touch-up paint for free. That was great. So then I got a call 2 days later. So he said he would call me back, which he didn't. Okay. Got a call from someone 2 days later saying that he had told them to call me. So we had this conversation. They always try to talk me into just matching the paint. And I said no. When I went to Sherwin-Williams to match the paint, they told me that because it was a lacquer, they could match the paint, but it just would never look the same because paint doesn't go on the same as lacquer, which I wonder if this is lacquer, honestly. So I told the woman, no, I don't want to just match the paint. I don't just want to use a white paint stick. I want to match the linen color. It's called linen, Brackenridge linen. So it took, and then she told me her schedule. She's like, well, the next time you come in, we'll order it. And I was like, I have all the information, and I gave the information to Lowe's the last time I was in. Is there some reason I can't order this online? So she agreed to order it online because I don't understand why I would drive 45 minutes to get there when I can give her information, screenshots, whatever she needs, right? That makes sense. So to get a pint of the linen, because they said they didn't sell it in the little tiny bottles that they gave me when I bought it, was going to be $50. And I thought, I just got a few places to touch up. So I ended up getting 2. At first she said I couldn't get paint pens in the linen, but as we talked and she kept looking on the computer, she did find it. So she ordered 2 paint pens for me for $20 in the linen color. And so that is supposed to come the first week of April. You know, and she was like, I'm sorry, it's not going to come till April. And I was like, I really don't care. I just need it ordered, you know. April's earlier than never. So I'm hoping the pen's going to work, because it just felt like to do a few touch-ups. Also, a couple of the doors have bubbled, and so I almost feel like I priced out the doors. The smaller ones are like $50 a piece. My concern with getting new ones to replace the ones that have bubbled would be that because of acid in the air and such, mine are probably discolored and I don't even realize it. But I was thinking it might be worth the money if I were to sell the house to go ahead and replace some of the cabinet doors so that they look pristine. So what I would do is ask my realtor at the time if she thought, you know, the money was worth spending. She's super honest. In fact, I was going to do ceramic tile. I had her come and do a fair market assessment on the house. So she does that for free and basically gets all the comps together. She made a full report. And so she said, ceramic tile is so expensive. Don't waste your money. Do vinyl, plank flooring. Do vinyl on the walls. So that's what I decided to do. She was like, you're not going to get that money back out. People are going to have their own opinions on what they want. They might not even keep it. So I went with that. And so I know what I would do is I would have her come in and be like, okay, this is my budget to stage this house for sale. Where should I put this money? All right, so this time I'm going to go in with a bigger brush, see how that goes, and then do the edges. All right, would you like to listen to a song? Are you bored with me chatting at you?
Actually, let's take a break. I'm going to show you a midweek grocery haul that Yvonne did. Her and Creasy went to the store for me because I did not do a great job with my groceries this week, and I'll show you that. I know many of you love her grocery hauls. And then I'm going to show you the chicken broth I did in the crock pot. So let's get to those things, give you a little break from this painting.
Okay, here we go. Okay, this is my grocery list for the week. So for starters, I got, what are these called? Oh, red bell peppers. Red bell peppers. Got 4 red bell peppers, pink lady apples, some avocados, some eggs. Just to pre-pick those out. Then we got a little bit of milk, and then vinegar. 4 things of tofu. We took all the tofu, you know.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Nah. Sister Cree and Ava like these, the water crackers. Some Crunchy Munch buttery toffee popcorn. Ooh. Some salt. Skinny Pop. Some bananas. These are really good. Ava wanted this, so we got microwave popcorn. Then we got monk fruit Splenda. I can't remember if I said it, but we got straws. We got these squeeze things for Leo. Look, Maggie, don't you like these? Whoopsies. And then we got some gluten-free pasta. I don't know how to pronounce that. And then we got some kielbasa. And then mozzarella strings. I don't know what these are. Then we got some more. Voila. Daya mozzarella cheese. And then Dunkin' decaf K-Cups. The blueberry K-Cups and buttery caramel K-Cups too. And then we got oat milk. Oh, these that we've never tried. Biscuits, peanut butter, granola bars. Then we got some flushable wipes. And then some super sweet corn. Oops. And then garbanzo beans. And some gluten-free chocolate chips. And then some Chips Ahoy. And last but not least, some cat litter. 2 of these. Not me struggling. Whoa. Awkward. Okay, 2 of these. Light, free and clean, unscented cat litter. Yeah. And that is it for the week.
Look at me, I'm actually in a real shirt and not a sweatshirt. It's getting nicer out. So I got this whole chicken for 99 cents a pound. Super exciting. And as I said in, I think yesterday's video, I didn't even have it on my menu plan, which is a problem. So I put a cup of water in it. I put it in the oven at 400 degrees. I normally cook them 15 minutes per pound. Of course, I was busy. I think I was editing, and so I just kind of ignored it and came back, and lo and behold, it was done. I kind of go by the legs. If the legs are real loose, then I consider it done. And I'm getting the meat taken off of it, and then I'm going to put the bones in the crock pot. The last time I did chicken soup broth, homemade broth, or stock on this channel, I did it with just leg quarters. I thought I had a whole chicken and I got it home and it wasn't a whole chicken, or maybe I ordered it online. Anyways, I had done it on top of the stove, and one of you had said, hey, you know, you could do that in the crock pot. And I was like, yes, absolutely. So I'm saving the broth that came from cooking the chicken because I had just added water, and so I have drippings. Anyway, I thought, okay, I'm going to put that on the channel, just showing that you can do it in the crock pot, because that way, if you're not home to nurse it all day, you could be throwing your chicken bones or turkey bones into the crock pot. Even if you work, before you go to work, you come home, you have homemade chicken stock. So I am just getting all of the meat taken off first. We were actually having steak on this night, so it wasn't on the plan, but I decided to get it all ready, and then I could do a soup because today's Friday. Today would be a great day for a soup, or tomorrow being Saturday is another great day for a soup, whether it's for lunch or for supper. I think it'll be, if it's Friday, it'll be supper, and if it's Saturday, it'll probably be lunch. But I also want my daughter to make our Armenian soup that we love so much, so I'm a little unsure, but it's going to fit in there somewhere. I actually thought about trying to do a gluten-free pie and do a gluten-free chicken pie. So that could happen too. I'd like to really experiment with that. I'm getting it into the crock pot. I'm going to put it on high and I'm going to put enough water in it to cover everything. I'm also getting out vegetables from the refrigerator, and I do try to find some that need to be cooked and then toss them in. So I had this celery, I've had it for a while. I wanted to get it finished up. I had the ends to this bag of carrots. I have more carrots in the refrigerator, but this one got overlooked for the newer bag of carrots. So I'm going to put that in as well.
Hi guys, how are you? What are you making?
Chicken broth.
Chicken broth?
Yep.
Whoa, from scratch?
Yep, I did that last time when you had chicken soup I made. It
That was
my own
homemade
broth.
chicken. Whoa. Whoa, I didn't know you can do that.
Yeah.
Look at what you did with my paper towels.
Oops. Oh, crap. Did you get your sheets, by the way?
Yep.
Okay. Where are they?
In the living room,
Okay, thanks.
where I told her for the millionth time.
Oh, brother.
Oh, Yvonne, she's so funny. What she was saying I had done was the paper towel was dipped into the chicken broth that had come out from the drippings. Oh my goodness, that's so me. I'm so klutzy. My mother used to always say, if your head and your body were just going in the same direction, you'd have a lot less problems. And I think she was right. And it's just something I've never gotten over. I'm just always kind of in a rush. It's just my personality. I don't know. And it also made me realize that little intercourse that you saw between Yvonne and I, that I need to teach my girls to make homemade stock. So I'm putting in some potatoes as well. I think I only put in one. You don't really need a whole lot. You're just trying to get the flavor. And then I also thought I guess I'm doing more than one. How many am I doing? Oh my goodness. Oh, I was finishing off this bag. Okay, so I had this older bag of potatoes too. My goodness, it was just yesterday. How do I not remember this? So I wanted to use those up as well. So it's just a great thing to do. You just take vegetables that need to be dealt with and go ahead and put them in your stock. And then I ended up putting in 8 cups of water. I wanted enough water to cover, but not like flood, right? Because I don't want my chicken broth to be too weak. I want it to be, on the stronger side. So it's time to get it cleaned up, and then I will just let it sit all day and do its magical thing. So here is what it looks like.
This is from when I cooked the chicken. This is all the meat I got.
And there's my broth all ready to go, just with water. It's nighttime. I've had my shower. I am so ready for bed. It is not my high energy time, but the broth is done. And let me just shout out myself that I'm very proud that I actually filmed this. But I'm not thinking as clearly as I could be. My first thought was I wanted to preserve the potatoes, the onions, and the carrots and the celery. That I might choose to puree that, put it back in the broth. You see, my mother, we would have had the roast chicken. She would have made gravy out of the dripping, so she would have thickened it. So you have that thickened gravy, and she would have added the thickened gravy to the pot when she was making her own stock or broth. So that would give it a little bit of body, some more thickening. I'm thinking for soup, sometimes you don't want it super thin, or, if you were to do chicken pie, you would be thickening it again. I thicken with cornstarch because you don't have to use as much. However, I digress. So, like I said, not my best time of the day. So I'm putting kind of the bones in one bag and the vegetables in the other because I remember my mother picking through the bones and getting any little tiny bit of meat that came off the bone that we weren't able to cut off the first time. So that's kind of where I started, which is why I'm putting the bones in a bag because I'm thinking I'm going to pick through all of this. Well, I had already let this cool for about an hour and it was still super duper hot. This is a really great crock pot that I got at Goodwill for $15 and I am loving every minute of this crock pot. Either way, later on, I'm like, girl, you are not going to pick through these bones. And it was a small chicken, so there's really not even that much. But I did end up keeping the vegetables, and then I end up draining the broth. I do not trust myself to tip this crock pot up and pour because I know I will make a big mess. So I'm doing cupfuls from the crock pot through a strainer just to get out any little bits that I'm not going to want in my stock. I was very happy with how much I got off of this. I haven't done it in a long time, and I used to always do it with turkey for Thanksgiving or Christmas. So either way, what I ended up doing, you'll see, is I kind of like pull the bag to the side so that I can get more of the broth out. And that worked really well. But I had filled up that particular measuring bowl, so I needed to get out another one. So this chicken was winner, winner, chicken dinner as far as how much broth I got. At the tail end, I just pulled out the bag and kind of poured in the last bits. I was also very excited that my bag didn't puncture. Strangely, I have better luck with the Crockpot bags in this Crockpot. I don't really understand why. Drum roll, please. I got 12 cups of broth from that little small chicken. Right, back to painting, and I'm very excited that tomorrow my husband will be able to put this up onto the ceiling. Also, we're getting the shade to go on the window in there, and I want to get a shade. I'm going to have Lowe's cut it for me. So that's kind of hindered me from getting it because honestly, I hate trying to get someone to help me in there. But it'll be okay. We'll do it. We will prevail. But I really need a shade because we've just been putting plastic up over the window and it keeps falling down and it falls on the heater. Plastic on an electric heater, not a great idea. So I feel like it's a fire hazard. I feel like I'm going to melt it all over my radiator. I just feel like there's all the bad things that are going to happen. So we really need to get the shade. So that's good because that's one more thing that will get done. And also very good news as we went over our budget. It looks like we're going to be able to order the new vanity and the new toilet in just a couple of weeks. So that means we can lay the floor, and that's the only thing stopping us from really going whole hog to get this bathroom done. So I'm super excited about that. And we also will have a trip to North Carolina for my son's wedding in the middle of that. If you've been here a long time, you're probably tired of hearing me say that. Speaking of which, if you love homemaking content and DIYs and decorating and all the cleaning, decluttering things, please subscribe so that you can join our family here. And I will love seeing you each and every time. That feels good. Now I'm going to go upstairs and get this edited. I think I just got paint on my glasses. Will I get to do another coat today? Not really sure. Depends on how long it takes me to edit. I hope I do. If not, maybe we can do it tonight. Do you like how you can see my lights in my glasses? Remember, God loves you and I love you too. And I can't wait to see you next time, which hopefully will be tomorrow.